Hello there, and welcome back to Napalm's newest news. And today I want to talk about the 10th season of the Battle Pass called Royal Guard. As usual, you'll find the links to everything that I'm talking about in the video description down below. And I want to talk about the three main vehicle prices, some of the tasks, what I think about them, and probably how to do them. And then also want to use this opportunity to look back on the previous 9 seasons and especially the vehicle rewards, just to get an idea where the Battle Pass as a concept in War Thunder, or a part of War Thunder, is actually heading, because this is quite interesting. And there is quite a lot to talk about, so I'll go through it real quick. So first of all, when you watch the video at release, so from today up until April 26th, so basically 3 months you have to get everything done in the Battle Pass Season 10. And let's talk about the three main rewards. The Project 183 BM21, Soviet Rank 3 Premium Boat. And the TLDR is you have something very similar in the tech tree, but you exchange the rear twin 25mm gun turret with a rocket launcher, and that is really interesting when we look then later how you have to do things. Then we get the Bf-109 F4 Hungarian, which is an Italian rank 3 premium fighter aircraft. And then the main prize basically is the MX-50 TO90/930. French rank 4 premium tank. And the TLDR about this is it's an MX-50, but instead of a 120mm or 100mm autoloader, you have basically not a solid shot firing gun, but a 90mm long barrel with an autoloader firing the M82 APH-E round, and that is basically the main difference. Now, the French nation is also a nation that previously saw some Battle Pass rewards that were really powerful. More on this in just a moment. So, to be honest, not really worth it by itself. We have something like this in the German tech tree. Yeah, French autoloaders, we get it. Not really something outstanding, but we'll come to this back in just a moment. So then we have some decals, we have some decorators, and we have a profile icon. So we'll come to this in just a moment, and how to participate is also flashed out here. And I think that we go to the rewards. Now, the first thing is those rewards are basically between free, so you don't need to purchase the Battle Pass, and those ones which you have to basically buy the Battle Pass for. It goes with 10 progress points. You then get a level up, and they're basically up to level 150. And one thing that I really want to mention here about the boosters, especially the Silverline and RP boosters, is that the top boosters once were 300, 400 and 500% boosters, and the big difference to the big boosters now is that you had 5 of them in a row. So that was really awesome, and I highly appreciated it, and it felt like something unique and something that was worth grinding for. And these days that has been revoked, or it has been not implemented again, and to be honest, why should I then grind for a single 300% booster if I can get a 300% booster twice every day for free while playing with friends in the assault mode? I don't get it. So that has lost quite a lot of value, and we also have to look then back about to the vehicle prices when we go to the other 9 battle passes. So the first 3 missions are doable, I think. Destroy 150 vehicles. You have basically 3 weeks time, 3 weeks for 20,000 mission points when using a tank destroyer. I think that's again doable. It's not really specified if there is a multiplier for tank RB or arcade. Then also you have to win 35 battles where you destroy at least one enemy And again, I think you can do it in naval forces, in tanks, and in planes. Then this is really interesting because you have to destroy 25 vehicles, so tanks, ships, or planes, while using a stealth belt. I think that's exclusively for aircraft. Correct me if I'm wrong. Then we have to play a specified number of battles using each type of vehicle: submarine chaser and destroyer, light tank and SPA, bomber and strike aircraft, and we have to play 3 battles each. That sounds a little bit dumb. I don't think that this is so much of a problem. Maybe to play them because you can only use 1 aircraft at a time in RRB, but you can use it in combined arms, which is what most people play. Submarine chaser is a little bit dumb, and I have to then look a bit closer into the requirements. I think that this is a real sucker of a task. Then destroy a specified number of player air vehicles while using a fighter, bomber, and strike aircraft. In theory, it's doable, playing as the Germans in particular. You have many allies to farm, but when word comes around or goes around that this task is up, a lot of the allied players will either stop playing or they're real masochist and don't read the news. Might be a little bit of a sucker to get it done. Then deal a specified amount of damage to blue water ships using a coastal vessel. Now, this is the first of 3 consecutive tasks where you can, in theory, use this bad boy here, the Project 183 BM21, because you have to deal 15,000 damage, and most naval vehicles, or not naval, but patrol boats have quite the difficulty to destroy even a reserve destroyer with gunfire. Yes, some higher tier ships can do it, but to get to them is a tedious grind. You can do it with mines, with depth charges, with torpedoes, or pure gunfire, rocket launchers, you name it. So at least you have that much freedom, and it's kind of doable. 3 weeks time, it's okay. It sucks a little bit, but it's doable. 20,000 mission score points with one of the 3 current battle pass prices vehicles. So basically waste your voucher. And then destroy a specified number of player vehicles using each specified naval weapon: torpedo, rocket or missiles, or anti-submarine rocket launchers. So 10 kills with torpedoes. Okay, I get that. And this is why you can't use that ship, the Project 183. But the rocket, missile, or anti-submarine rocket launchers, yeah, that then will be interesting. And I think a lot of people will go with the Douglas, which is a premium. So destroy 3 player vehicles without losing your own while driving a heavy tank as a specified number of times, 10 times. So we had this task already. So basically you have to get 3 kills in a row with a tank, within a heavy tank, without dying. And if you get like a row of 10 vehicles, it then adds up. So basically, in theory, if you kill 13 tanks in a row without dying in a heavy tank, you have the task done. Or you get 10 times 3 kills. Then receive 15 times the one-shot award. With tanks, with APHE, I think it's doable. And then this rewards revenge killing. And this is what I absolutely despise as getting promoted by Gaijin. Then we have, as the next task, play the specified number of missions in the vehicles of the specified number of nations. 5 missions, each in 8 different nations. That's a lot of grinding. And that is also a tedious task, because while you have the freedom to choose 8 out of 10 nations, and you can play, I don't know, helicopters, planes, boats, ships, tanks. You know, it's still 8 different nations, and that takes a while, so that can suck. But for long-term players, it's not so much a problem, I think. Then Honor Guard, the second last task, is play a specified number of battles while destroying at least one other ground, surface, and aerial vehicle and capturing 1 point in each of the following modes: air battles, ground battles, naval battles. So that's doable, but again, not everybody is in all 3 things at the same time. And I think Gaijin really wants to cater you naval forces again. And then Royal Seal is complete all the season's challenges, and those are 14 different challenges, and if you only miss one, you can't get this. So that sucks. So this is a mixed bag. I can really do this, but I'm not really looking forward to it. For new players, this is outright impossible to actually do all the 14 challenges without either buying a premium or grinding like a madman. Not something that I would really appreciate. Now let's have a look back into the past. What did we have back in the days? Well, with Battle Pass Season 1, it was the 75th anniversary of the Great Victory. We had the Matilda Hedgehog, really unique British tank. Really difficult to use those rockets. They are basically, you can't aim them. And you have to aim with the entirety of the tank and a single fragment and they blow up. But overall unique, and in theory Gaijin could have fixed this, yada yada yada. Garland, not so much of a hit. But the F2G1 Super Corsair is still one of the best props in the game and surprisingly cheap on the marketplace. Hot tip from me, get it. T10A was also a little bit of a sucker, but you know, overall not terrible. Well, a little bit terrible for my taste, but there are people out there appreciating the armor as long as you don't see people with Heat FS. Then we have Battle Pass New Season Steel Centurion, and what a great banner, right? So we basically had 4 premiums. The one was the T55E1, a really fun vehicle, really cool, really low, great tank destroyer. Then we had the Type 1936A Z25 with 4 150mm guns. This was interestingly the ship that basically broke naval forces as we knew it, where we went from the overpowered HE meta to the SAP and AP meta, with a radical change in the damage model as well. And yeah, overall a decent sniper, but not really something for my playstyle. And the ITP M1, probably not the greatest fighter out there, but just a 37mm and a pair of quick firing 20mm, really great. And on top of those 3 at least decent things, you had this Centurion Mark V 1 as a premium, and I think it's still there on the marketplace, right? And then we come to the Battle Pass Season 3, where we saw the introduction of the Voroshilov, which is a light cruiser with 3 180mm fantasy guns. Watch my review on the Newport News and watch the stats of how the AP shells behave. This is absolute fantasy. The 38M Toldi 2A is a fun little tank. The P39Q25 is just UFOing around, and I don't think that the M6A2E1, the mutant, needs an introduction. It has really strong armor, and the gun is good as well. Not really the most mobile tank and with a long reload, but it just is rare enough that people don't know the weak spots, and you can have a really brilliant time. So they're really great as well. Season 4 introduced to us the EBR 1963 and the coupon for the A6 M6C. Now, this is obviously French and unique, and this is a Japanese zero, but at such a battle rating where it's not really that amazing. But still, both of them are premium. And on top of this, we see then the Sonderkraftfahrzeug 251-22. So basically the tracked version of the Puma, if I'm not mistaken. And still a cool tank. And then also, as another premium, the USS Detroit CL8. Not the greatest ship, but an extension of the already brutal 5.0 US Blue Water lineup. So, you know, 4 premiums. Then we come to season 5, and yeah, there you see the absolute madman. We see the LVT 440, which is again French and totally overpowered. Like, this thing doesn't take prisoners. The PT 658, which is okay, not amazing, but gets the job done. The Bowfighter Mark 1 with two 40mm but limited ammunition. Not the greatest plane around, but really unique and again a premium. And then the PT 7657. Just one thing. Look at the prices for this bad boy on the marketplace. It's insane. It's basically a tank with a single ZSU 57-2 barrel on it, without the reload after 4 rounds. It's ridiculous. It one-shots stuff left, right, and center if you have the flank of a couple of enemy tanks. Yeah, it's like the most fun that you can have with your pants still on. Battle Pass Season 6 Firepower introduced to us the M64, which is basically a Chinese Hellcat on a different chassis. The SU-8 with 4 45mm guns, lots of bombs and rockets and machine guns, and you name it. It's a dream of a ground pounder when you want excess firepower. And then the 41M Turan 2, also basically like a it feels like a heavily modified Panzer IV. It's its own design, but you know what I'm talking about. And then the Higgins 78 feet HMS MBT 422. Not great, but again, we are at 4 premium vehicles. Then we come to season 7. And this is where we then drop to 3. But the HMS Cadiz is a serious premium destroyer. If you go bow in, your ammo rack is pretty hard to hit, and you have your major firepower, which is decent for destroyers, in the front, and you can do things. And it has some serious 40mm taka-taka. Then we have the F6C10, another French rank 3 premium, and it's overall okay from what I've seen, but I have not really enjoyed it that much to give you a verdict on it. Look it up, but again, this is the first time that we go down to 3 premium vehicles. And then we have the premium Ferdinand, basically. It's called the Elephant, and I expect this at some point to have ridiculous pricing on the marketplace. So there is that. Then Season 8 introduced the type T51A, which I have a video on where I basically destroyed 3 enemy battleships as a little bit of a meme in, I think, 30 seconds or 20 seconds. Then there is the Object 248, which is basically an IS-2 with a 100mm gun. Also have a video on this. It's a fun tank. And obviously the outstanding BV-155. This thing is an absolute bad boy, and it's also in the marketplace. If you can get your hands on it, do it. Do it. And oh, that's a bit of an editing fault. We go to season 9. This is already season 9, yeah. Smell of Victory. And this is the introduction of basically napalm. Thank you very much, Gaijin. Bit late, but better late than never. So this is a patrol boat, the LCM 6F Sippo. It's a premium. It's stupid and ridiculous. It's really slow, but it has some armor, some firepower with the 40mm, some extra guns, and obviously flamethrowers. I still have to make a video on this bad boy. Then the Churchill Crocodile, which is a Churchill with a gun and an additional flamethrower, which is infamous for creating memes. And then we also have the AH-1 rank 4 American plane that has as an outstanding feature a toilet bomb. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Like, this is really cool and all, as you know, a concept, something really unique, something outstanding. It's a good laugh and absolutely worth picking up for collectors, and it has also quite the performance as a ground attacker. So you kind of see where we are going. We're overall going down with the rewards. Overall, they're getting less and less unique, and I think that the season 10 is so far the least interesting for me personally, and this is the final of our history of the 10 battle passes so far. So let me know in the comment section what you think about this, if you agree, if you disagree, if you're looking forward to it, or if you let this one pass, pun intended. And as usual, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Please give this video a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other on the waves, in the skies, and on the battlefields of War Thunder.